champions of the past, we have world champions of the present. There is a shield in the building.
Jake Paul, it's clear to me you are desperate for a reality check. You know what? If I made my money impressing 4-year-olds on YouTube and managed to somehow become a multi-millionaire from it, I'd probably live in a dream world too. But let me explain something to you about combat sports. There are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living fuck out of you.
No, he's fighting a 57-year-old champ now. What's
58.
58. Don't want to take a year away from you, Mike.
He's fighting a guy that's almost 60 years old. And you know what I mean? I mean, that says it all. That says it all. There's nothing else that needs to be said. That's his shtick. That's his thing. He fights guys that are old, usually undersized guys, older, undersized guys. But he's fighting Tyson here, and him and Tyson are going to make a shitload of money.
A bunch of money.
Andrew Tate has just revealed the strange fight contract details with Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxer. The two have been trading insults online for months, and while everyone expected something to happen, no one anticipated it would escalate to this level of seriousness.
Fucking internet. If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living fuck out of a fucking goofy, fucking entitled dickhead like you. You know my name, Andrew Tate.
You might have a fight on your hands.
That would go crazy.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. No, seriously.
I'm about the action. Like I'm less talk now. Like
You just don't see it as a sustainable thing.
He fought Tommy Fury and lost. Where's that rematch?
What makes this fight particularly intriguing is that unlike the usual staged hype jobs we've seen before, this one comes with real tension, massive stakes, and some shady clauses that might leave you wondering if it's a disaster waiting to happen.
All he fights are old guys and whatever, but listen, say what you want, he wins, and he makes money. So he's doing his thing.
Two brothers, one cage. Jake Logan, you Tristan. Who comes out alive?
You know what? I'm trying so hard to not start internet beefs. I'm really trying not to.
You could say Jake and Logan, man.
Bro,
Don't worry about it.
No, I can't lie. Bro, I'm going through life. I'm trying to live peaceful now.
Andrew Tate, the self-proclaimed top chi and former kickboxer, has been at odds with Jake Paul for what feels like an eternity. Jake, determined to prove he's more than just a hype-driven fighter with deep pockets, couldn't ask for a better opportunity to showcase his boxing skills than a showdown with Tate, who never misses a chance to declare himself unbeatable. The fight is set to take place in Romania, but let's be real, it's not about the venue. It's about the animosity. These two can't stand each other, and that's sure to make this clash an unforgettable spectacle.
me versus Andrew Tate.
Wow.
But here we are, so we can talk about that side note announcement. And please go watch the episode.
Hold on a second. What you mean you versus Andrew Tate? Because
No, I'm not saying a fight. I'm saying like our back and forth. He talks shit about me and like says he wants to beat my ass or can beat my ass and all this stuff.
I think there's a better fight to make.
Now, let's get to the real star of the show, the contract. Andrew Tate has gone all in on transparency, revealing the fight's details. And let me tell you, it's a wild ride. The stakes are sky high, the penalties are absurdly funny in a cringy way, and the clauses feel like a mix of WWE drama and Shark Tank negotiations. This is where things really start to get interesting. First, let's address the obvious. We all know why people are tuning into this fight. Money. Big money. Tate and Paul aren't just in it for the clout. They've been cashing in with contracts so outrageous they'd make even the most seasoned negotiators do a double take.
If my brother doesn't fuck you up, I will. And it has to go down. But I don't think he gets in the ring with one of us. I think it's too big of a risk.
The winner of this fight is set to walk away with a cool $10 million. Sounds great, right? Well, not so fast. There's a twist. If the fight goes to the judges' scorecards instead of ending in a knockout, the winner only takes home half that amount, just $5 million. That's right, a measly $5 million. So do you think these two are going to let this fight drag out? Absolutely not. Both are going to throw everything they've got to claim that full $10 million, because let's face it, $5 million just doesn't have the same ring to it. Don't expect either of these guys to hold back or pull punches with that kind of money on the line. Every jab, uppercut, and feint will count. If you're thinking of betting on this fight, know this: both Paul and Tate will be fighting like their bank accounts depend on it, because they do. Now, let's talk about the clause that's bound to give these two some sleepless nights: random drug testing. If you thought this fight would just be about skill and strategy, think again. Both fighters are subject to random, no-notice drug tests, adding a whole new layer of pressure. If either of them planned on using something shady to gain an edge, they're in for a rude awakening.
Hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, all of which would fuck you up. I'm one of the lucky ones. I made a little bit of money. I don't have 50 million to bet with you, but I do have 3 million to bet with you. So this is your offer. $3 million.
Here's where things get even more intense: the penalties. If either fighter fails a drug test, they don't just lose the fight, they face a massive financial hit. For Andrew Tate, who spent years building his top G image, or Jake Paul, who's fighting to keep his undefeated streak alive, a failed test would be catastrophic. It's not just about the money, it's about their reputations. A misstep like this could be career-ending, and both know it. Staying clean isn't just a requirement, it's a survival tactic. Is it any surprise that Tate insisted on this clause? The man's a strategist. For someone always playing the long game, ensuring a level playing field is just another calculated move. As for Jake Paul, let's be real, he doesn't exactly have a spotless record when it comes to following rules. This clause is a game changer for both fighters. But wait, there's more. The contract shuts down any chance of a rematch. If Jake knocks out Tate or Tate submits Jake, that's it. No, let's run it back next year. No second chances. One fight, one winner, and the glory is theirs forever. This contract isn't just about money and fighting. It's a masterpiece of drama, penalties, and chaos. The kind of spectacle that could make even the most over-the-top soap operas jealous.
You are desperate for a reality check. You know what? If I made my money impressing 4-year-olds on YouTube and managed to somehow become a multimillionaire from it, I'd probably live in a dream world too. But let me explain something to you about combat sports. There are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living fuck out of you. This is the hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, all of which would fuck you up.
This no rematch clause really ups the stakes. Think about it. Losing means there's no second chance, no claiming you were off your game or just unlucky. There's no opportunity to redeem yourself or prove you're better than your performance in the ring. That, my friend, is some serious pressure. Imagine Jake Paul constantly fighting the just a YouTuber label, knowing that a loss would not only shatter his undefeated record, but also leave no room for a comeback. On the flip side, picture Andrew Tate, the self-proclaimed top G, getting knocked out by a YouTuber turned boxer. The internet would absolutely erupt, and the fallout would be brutal for his carefully crafted image.
I think you're focused on boxing boxers, people that are in the space that you reside.
Jake, I know he's been talking shit about you, bro.
Yeah.
But with your blessing, can I beat the shit out of Andrew fucking Tate?
100%.
Now, let's dive into another juicy part of the contract, the weight clause. Both fighters are required to make weight, and if either one fails, they lose 30% of their paycheck. This isn't the typical weigh-in drama you see at the start of most boxing events. This is serious money on the line. Missing weight means forfeiting a significant chunk of their earnings, just like that. For fighters like Tate and Paul, whose brands thrive on their image and credibility, a public failure like this could be devastating. It's not just about looking good for the cameras. Missing weight signals a lack of preparation. In the boxing world, that's a big deal. If you can't even get your body in shape for a fight, how can anyone believe you're ready to step into the ring and win? For Tate, who prides himself on his discipline, and Jake, who's worked hard to establish himself as a legitimate boxer, failing to make weight wouldn't just cost them money, it would do serious damage to their reputations.
He does tend to keep those guards down, but he's comfy at that point.
Let's not forget the pay-per-view clause. This is where things get even crazier. Both fighters are set to receive 50% of the PPV sales. That's right. Every dollar fans spend to watch this fight goes straight into their pockets. So, what does this mean for the total payout? A lot of money. Jake Paul and Andrew Tate both have massive social media followings, and fans are going to be lining up to watch this drama unfold. We could be looking at record-breaking PPV sales, especially with all the hype and tension surrounding this matchup. This isn't just any fight, it's one of the most talked about battles of egos in recent memory. With so much money on the line, you can bet both fighters will bring their A-game, not just in the ring, but in the marketing as well. Expect non-stop hype on their platforms as they drum up excitement and remind everyone just how high the stakes are. The tension will keep building, and the PPV numbers will reflect that. If you're a betting person, you might want to keep an eye on how much cash comes pouring in from fans eager to see these two go head-to-head.
If you want to fight, you want to set a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living out of a goofy, entitled dickhead.
So, what does this all mean? If you thought celebrity boxing was a joke, think again. This fight is shaping up to be one of the most intense, drama-filled matchups of the year. The contract alone is enough to keep you on edge, and with $10 million at stake, no rematch clauses, random drug testing, and strict weight penalties, these two aren't just fighting for glory, they're fighting for their careers. This isn't just a fight, it's a spectacle, an ego clash, and a money-making machine rolled into one. Will Jake Paul keep his undefeated streak alive? Will Andrew Tate prove he's truly unbeatable? Or will one of them make a mistake so monumental that it costs them everything? Whatever happens, one thing is certain, this fight is going to be one for the history books. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think it's all just hype, or is this really a showdown for the ages? Let me know where you stand, and don't forget to hit that like button if you're as pumped as I am for this chaotic battle.